Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how to create a Salesforce approval process and what is the approval process all about. So approval process is basically an automated way of submitting a record uh, for approval in Salesforce. It specifies the steps required to be approved. It also allows to specify the actions to be taken when a record is approved or rejected. For condition, for example, I'm giving you a simple example. Suppose for the billing, if a total bill of billing object is less than 40 rupees, it should send for an approval. for the for any group of people or any particular people. And in case of the some limitations for each approval process, you can have maximum of 30 steps for process and 25 approvals for steps. And every organization can have only 300 approval process per object and 1000 approval process for whole organization. And how does approval process work? Suppose if you are going to create new approval process, so how much steps you are and what steps you are going to be follow. Like suppose first step is to select your object. It can be a custom object or it can be a standard object, and then specify the criteria and select approver. You have multiple list of users, so you can select any of the user or list of users for approvers. And the fourth step is to select email templates. Suppose on the basis of the approval, we approval process automatically send emails to approvers to approve or send uh, that record, right? Right, and uh, next step is to select the fields to display an approval page layout, and then there are few more steps like initial submission, approval, rejection, and recall. So based on the approval action, uh, it record can be approved or reject. Recall is the final step. U- User can recall the approval process. It means it user can restart approval once again if it is already rejected. And these are the few limitations regarding approval process. Like for each approval process, you can have maximum of the following 30 step per process, 25 approvals per step. And as discussed earlier, each organization can have the following limitations like 300 approval process per object, 1000 approval process per organization, and approval process email limit per day is as follows, like 1000 per Salesforce standard license and 200 per organization. So these are the basically limitation, and approval process few key considerations are: make sure that the order or sequence of your approval process is as per your need, and make sure that assigned approver have the necessary permission and the record that they have to approve, and user have the email templates ready in order to notify the approver regarding the approval request, right? And okay, and let me quickly create a approval process for you. So basically this is the custom object just I have created, and I have created one record. So let me show you the layout. Suppose this is the lab bill, doctor bill, and fees concession. And based on the doctor bill, I am going to create a approval process. Suppose if doctor bill is less than 400, then it approval process will trigger, and it goes for approval for a particular user. So first of all, we have to go to the setup, then search approval process, and under the section approval and workflow we can have approval process. Just click on the approval process, and here is the option, like these are the standard objects and custom objects. And suppose for now we are going to create a process builder for bill object, which is a custom object, right? And there are two options here, just quick jump wizard and just started wizard. So basically both are the same, but few difference is user standard step wizard. Basically it goes step by step, and first one use jump start wizard. Basically it's show all the steps in the single layout. So let me go to the step by step. So here you have to provide a unique name of your approval process. So I'm going to build approval process, and here it will be the unique name. You can put the description of your approval process here and click on the next. Right, and here there are two options to specify entry criteria, like criteria are met, and second one is formula evaluated to true. So what is the difference between these two? Criteria are met, basically this is the current template, and we can select the your we can select the object field here, like suppose doctor bill, and it should not be less than 400. So le- it is not equal to less than this, like 400. So basically doctor bill should not be less than 400. If it is, then it will go for approval. Second option is formula evaluated to true. So you can also put some formula here. If formula criteria match, then your approval process will go for the approval. So for now I'm going to use criteria are met, and this is the condition, right? And here there are some options. Next automated approval determined by standard manager or something else. So let me select this one, right? And quickly go for the next. Here, as I told earlier, that approval process send email email to approver, so that that user can click on the link, and they can approve or reject the record. So here you can select any existing email templates, or you can create for this particular approval process. So I already had created a sample email templates, like contact notify admin. Let me select this one and go to the next. So these are the available fields. Here you can see like expense report name, owner, submit amount, status, and other fields are before comments, right? So actually we can add multiple fields if it is required. So I'm not going to add anything. I'm going to use the existing one, like lab bill and owner and comment, right? And going for the next. So here we can select a particular user, who can approve or reject that particular record. So I'm going to choose Ram Singh as a approver, right? And going to save. Just for go. Click on go. So here you can see that the approval process is created. So as discussed earlier, these are the steps like choose the object, specify the criteria, select approver, email templates, and select field to display approval process and initial submission, approval, recall, and rejection. You can see all the steps are here. So on the initial stage, I am going to update a field, field update one, so unit one, and which field where I am going to update like fees concession. So what should be like in the initially it should be wait. If it, on the if after approval it would be yes, and after rejection it would be no. So initially it would be wait, and approval process will be trigger, right? And final approval action, I am going to update field, same field, field 2, the same field. If it is approved, then field should be yes, right? And if record is rejected, record has rejected, then update field as no. Field update, see, update the same field here, and that field will be no. It means it is rejected. And initial at the initial submission, it I think it is already we already done all the steps. So it should be activated. Without activated, it will not work. So let me quickly edit it. Next process. No, it is not. We have to. Let me search once again. Approval process. Click on edit. If criteria is met, all the records should enter this step. If criteria made, then it approve the record. So here is the activate button. So I have to click it on activate. Now you can see this approval process is activated. So let me go to the object, create a new record. So it's at 200 and Dr. Willis 350. I'm not going to select face concession here. I hope it is already submitted and submit for approval. Okay, maybe I am doing something wrong here. So let me quickly open my email ID, email inbox. I think my approval process is not working, so I have to check why it is not working. Okay, let me stop